Hello and welcome to my channel Malavika's Magic. Today I'll be sharing with you how to write a sales letter. So let us begin by understanding the structure of my presentation. So first I will talk about what is a sales letter, then I will deal with the purpose of a sales letter. Thirdly, I will deal with the format, and then I will talk about the different paragraphs that needs to be taken into consideration while writing a sales letter, and then, of course, I will talk about the language and style of a sales letter. So now let us start with what is a sales letter. So we should understand that a sales letter is a piece of direct mail which is designed to persuade the reader to purchase a particular product or service in the absence of a salesman. Usually, a sales letter is written to a potential customer, and the intention of writing a sales letter is to persuade the customer to buy the product or persuade the customer to place an order for the product. And so the sales letter is therefore written to people or written to customers whom the organization already are in contact with, or rather the organization, they have already gone through a transaction, and thus the customer is aware of the organization or knows about the organization, and the organization also knows about the mindset of the customer, and thus in this manner the sales letter is written. So having understood what is a sales letter, let us understand the purpose of a sales letter. So the first purpose of a sales letter is to publicize the product, and of course to also sell the product. So the second purpose is to generate business, and the third purpose is to make an announcement of the arrival of a new product in the market, so that the customers are aware of what kind of products have been launched by this particular organization. So having understood the purpose of a sales letter, let us now move on to the format of a sales letter. So it is very important to write the sales letter in a particular format. So the format that I'll be talking about while writing a sales letter is also called as the AIDA format. Now, A stands for attention. That is, you have to draw the attention of the customers, either by putting forward a question, or you can write an anecdote also, that is a small story, or you can begin with an appeal, or you can talk about the central selling point of the particular product. The second paragraph will be the interest paragraph. That is, you have to give information about the product that could actually highlight, the selling point of the product or the key point of the product, and thus, you actually, make the customers feel very curious about, the product, or develop a liking towards the product. And then comes the desire paragraph. In the desire paragraph, you talk about the utility of the product. That is, you tend to show the utility or how the product could be used by the customer in different ways, and thus, you are again drawing the attention of the customers, or you're drawing, the attention of the customers towards the particular product. So the desire paragraph is equally important. Then comes the action paragraph. The action paragraph is where you want the customers to react to the whatever you have said so far about the particular product, and so therefore you want the customer to place an order for the product. And thus, it is very important that you actually give a deadline by when they can place an order, or you give certain discounts, for the particular order. So that would really, motivate the customers, or rather develop an interest in the customers to place an order. Now, having understood this format, which is also called as the AIDA format, let us, go into the details of how we can write the paragraphs in the sales letter. So first, we will be talking about the attention and interest paragraph. In the attention paragraph, as I told you, we could start with a question, we could start with an anecdote, we could start with a central selling point of the product, or we can start with an appeal. So for example, I can start like this: how can I develop my interpersonal skills? How am I going to perform in my interview? Do these questions bother you? And then I can go ahead. So if these questions bother you, then you have come to the right place Okay, so where you can actually where you can actually improve upon your interpersonal skills, and of course you will not have the hesitation, or you not have the fear of how you will perform in the interview. So you develop this confidence. So in this manner, here I've started with a question. In this manner, you can also start with an anecdote, a small story about the product, and of course you can identify the central selling point and then go ahead with the attention paragraph. After the attention paragraph, the interest paragraph should highlight your product's key selling point, and or rather give all the information about the product that will be actually useful for the customers, to gather knowledge or information about the product. And then after this, let us move on to the desire and action paragraph. Now, the desire paragraph is an extension of the previous paragraph, and it expresses the benefit of your product. You have to show the utility of the product to the customers, and you also have to show how the product will be useful to the customers or benefit the customers. So here you have to write in the you attitude. I've already dealt with you attitude in my previous video, or when I was talking about the seven C's, where I talked, that is the principles of letter writing, where I spoke about consideration as being one of the most important principle of letter writing. That is speaking in such a way that you give importance to the reader rather than to yourself. So in this particular paragraph, you're going to give importance to the reader rather than to yourself. Okay, so this is called as a you attitude. Then comes the action paragraph. The action paragraph, as I told you, is to motivate the reader to act as soon as possible, and therefore we can actually put a deadline, that within this particular deadline, if the order is placed, then they benefit in terms of the discount that are available. So this becomes a motivating factor for the reader or the customer, and thus there's a possibility that they will place an order for the product. So having understood the design and action paragraph, let us move on to the language and style of sales letter. Now, the language and style of sales letter should be persuasive, because you are trying to convince the reader to buy the product, convince the customer to buy the product. And at the same time, we have to be very careful that we do not complicate the matters, we do not complicate our ideas. We keep it very simple. So we use simple language while communicating our thoughts, while communicating the utility of the product, and so on. So having understood the language and style, let me now thank you all for your patient listening. I would also like to say that please follow the AIDA format while writing a sales letter, and it is very important. And try to remember what I have told you of how to write the attention paragraph, interest paragraph, desire paragraph, and the action paragraph. With this, I like to say thank you to you all once again.